Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Haikal.
My name is Putri Balkis.
My name is Nurdini.
My name is Nur Astakia.
My name is Azatul.
We like to present about electricity.
Elasticity of demand. Elasticity can be defined as the rate of change of the quantity demand due to a change in a variable. A variable is a factor determinant that affect the quantity demand, consumer income, or the price of either good, with the assumption of ceteris paribus.
Price elasticity of demand. Definition. Visual of the relationship between a changes in the quantity demand of a particular goods and changes in price with the assumption of ceteris paribus. Formula. Percent change in quantity demand of Q divided by percent change in price of Q. Step 1. P1 minus P0 divided by P0 multiply 100. Step 2, Q1 minus Q0 divided by Q0 multiply 100. Step 3, Q divided by P.
Degree of elasticity. First, perfectly inelastic characteristic if the percent of changes in QD is not sensitive to the percent of change in price. Value of elasticity ED equal to 0. Demand curve shape vertical. Second, inelastic characteristic if the percent of price change is the bigger than the percent of changes in QD. Value of elasticity 0, smaller than ED smaller than 1. Demand curve shape step. Third, unitarity elastic characteristic if the percent of price change is equivalent to the percent of change in QD. Value of elasticity ED equal to 1. Demand curve shape hyperbola. Third, elasticity characteristic dia if the percent of price change is smaller than the percent of change in QD. Value of elasticity 1 smaller than ED smaller than infinity. Demand curve shape tilted. Fifth, perfectly elastic. Characteristic dia if the percent of change in QD is infinity to the 5 of change in price. Value of elasticity ED equal to infinity. Demand curve shape horizontal.
For this example, we like to show about demand schedule for break. Price from 10 ringgit to 20 ringgit. P equal by 20 minus 10 divided by 10 multiplied by 100. So the answer is 100 ringgit. Q equal 23 minus 32 divided by 32 multiply 100 equal by negative 28.125 units. Q divided by P equal negative 28.125 divide by 100, the answer is negative negative 0.28125.
In terms of electricity of demand, definition is the measure the responsiveness of the quantity demand for a good to a change in consumer income. The formula is the percentage change in quantity demand of Q divided by percent change is income. One P1 minus P0 divided by P0 multiply 100. Step 2 Q1 uh, minus Q0 divided by Q0 multiply 100. Step 3 Q divided by P.
Degree of income elasticity of demand. Normal good is the positive increase in income cause an increase of demand, for example, public transport. Necessity good is have an income of demand which is positive and something needed for basic human existence, for instance, food, water, housing and electricity. Luxury good is an increase in income causes a bigger percentage of demand. For example, when income rises, people spend a higher percentage of their income on luxury goods such as portion. Inferior good is an increase in income caused of fall in demand, for example, cheaper.
Degree of EY. Positive. Value of EY. First, EY smaller than 1. Percentage change in quantity demand is smaller than the change in income. Types of good, basic essential goods, normal goods. Example, fish books status, one whose demand increase as income increase or demand decrease as income decrease. Second, EY equal 1. Percentage change in quantity demand is equal to the change in income. Types of good, comfort, less, superior. Goods, normal goods. Example, restaurant, meals, and car. Status one whose demand increase as income increase or demand decrease as income decrease. Third, EY bigger than 1. Percentage change in quantity demand is greater than the change in income. Types of good, necessary, goods, normal goods. Example, necessary cars, branded watch. Status one whose demand increase as income increase or demand decrease as income.
Degree of EY 0. Value of EY equal to 0. Percentage change, any increase in income will not change the equal demand. Goods, necessity goods, example, sell, rice, electricity. Status, one whose demand remains as income. Degree of EY negative. Value of EY small greater than 0, smaller than 0. Percentage change, increase income causes decrease quantity demand and vice versa. Goods, inferior goods, example, clothes from charity shop, cheap rate. Status, one was demand decrease as income increase or demand increase as income decrease.
Income increase from 20,000 to 14,000. The price is 50 ringgit. P equal by 14,000 minus 20 divide by 20,000 multiplied by 100. The answer RM 16 ringgit 67 cent. Q 30 minus 25 divide 25 multiply 100. The answer 20 unit. Quantity divide by P. 20 divide 60.67. The answer is 1.20.
Gross elasticity of demand definition is measured to responsiveness in the quantity demand for a good in the price of another goods certain variable. The formula is same like income elasticity of demand.
Degree of EC positive. Value of EC 1 smaller than EC greater than 1. Types of goods, certificate goods. Characteristic of elasticity. An increase in the price of one product will increase the quantity demand for another product and vice versa. Example, overtime and zero settle. When the price of middle increase, the quantity demand for overtime will increase. 0, EC equals 0, non-related good. An increase in the price of one product will not affect the quantity demand for another product and vice versa. Bread and ice cream. An increase in the price of bread has no effect on the demand for the ice cream.
Degree of EC negative. Value of EC, EY, EC smaller than 0. Type of good, complementary good. Characteristic of elasticity, an increase in the price of one product will decrease the quantity demand of another product and vice versa. Example, shoes and socks. Status, when the price of shoes increase, the quantity demand for socks decrease.
Example, table show demand shoulder for Milo and Vigo. For good A, price 20 minus 50 divided by 50 multiply 100. The answer is RM 33 ringgit point 33 cent. Quantity is 9 divided by minus by 50 divided by 50 multiply 100. The answer is negative 40 units. Quantity divided by price, negative 40 divided by 33.33. Answer is negative 1.20.
Good beef 20 minus 50 divided by 50 multiplied by 100. The answer is 33.33. 80 minus by 50 divided by 50 multiplied by 100. The answer is 20 units. Quantity divide P equal by 20 divide 33.33. The answer is 0.60.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.